What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 222 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, Rick. Balance, harmony, positive energy.
Is that the meaning of a bunch of twos in, like, chakras or something?
Apparently it's an angel number, and I spent more than zero amount of time finding out what the fuck an angel number is, and to say it's horoscopes but with numbers is being generous.
Okay, so is this something that where, like, 666 being the number of the beast is like, extrapolated to other numbers?
It's dumber than that, though.
Okay.
666 is meant to be the number of the beast. That's in all sorts of religious text and has since taken its own fucking meaning with pop culture. Angel numbers are basically any numbers that involve repeating numbers, and some crazy people think that makes them special. So 222, 111, 333, 59 is also an angel number because it's 59 twice. Why?
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. This sounds like
It's wank to sell weird things to those horoscope type people, but do you want to buy your birthstone to give you good luck? Well, now you can tattoo the number 222 on you because it means positive energy is coming your way. It's a scam.
Yeah. I'm just holding my head in my hands. This is silly. Oh, well.
Rick, you didn't spend 5 minutes researching it, and yes, that is all the time I gave it because I really don't give a fuck.
Goodbye, angel numbers. We'll see you again on the next repeated number.
No, you fucking won't.
Yeah, ideally.
Here's the thing. I've done that fact once. It's not coming up again. And two, it also means if you ever go out with someone and they've got a series of numbers that's a recurring set of numbers. No, they're a crazy person.
Yeah. Some kind of fool.
I'm your host, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everyone.
Joining me equally as always. Do I always say that? That doesn't make any sense, does it?
That's usually me that says it.
Right, okay. So I stole your phrase and that's why it feels wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I was like, geez, that doesn't sound right at all, does it? Anyway, today we're doing the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. Rick, do you want some background information?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I could have sworn this fucking cartoon was from like 2001, but it's in fact debuted on the 5th of June 2008.
Yeah, it's one of those, it was like, it was a lot later than I gave it credit for. It was like after when I was like watching Dragon Ball Z and stuff, so I never actually saw this as a cartoon enjoyer, really.
Oh, okay, I've seen my fair share of episodes. I'm sure that I've not seen half of them, but I've seen a fair share of them. It used to be a fun show, and I'm going to get into reasons why it was fun a bit later on. But first things first, I do apologise. Your first name is spelt weird. I don't know if this is how you pronounce it. Fjorop Van Orman created the show for Cartoon Network and also lends his voice to the main character Flapjack. Fun fact, the reason why he voices Flapjack is the original VA didn't fucking turn up.
Fantastic.
So, you know that story about like Only Fools and Horses where they wanted Chaz and Dave to do the theme tune, but like the letter got lost, so the creator of the show just sung it? Literally the exact same scenario.
That's kind of cool.
This chap's actually got a fairly interesting career, having a hand in a few animation projects, including Adventure Time, albeit not for the entire run, and is credited as the voice of Sprig in Amphibia, but just for the pilot. He also gets a special thanks credit from in Amphibia.
Okay.
Fun fact that it is impossible not to stumble upon this, no matter what fucking website you're checking for information. I saw this listed on 4 different ones, including 2 wikis. Part of the inspiration behind this show was Fjorop's own desire for maritime adventure when he was a kid, which makes sense seeing as he grew up in Florida near the docks.
Yeah, I get that. I get it.
The show focuses on a trio of characters. We have the main character Flapjack, who we just explained. Captain Knuckles is voiced by Brian Doyle Murray, who, fuck me, I didn't realise this, is the older brother of Bill Murray. Okay. Is that silence because you didn't hear me, or silence because you don't care?
I said okay, but apparently that got clipped.
Apparently it did. He's actually got quite an acting career himself, including his fair share of VAs. Funny enough, he uses the exact same voice to voice the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob.
Another show that was kind of around my time, but I missed out on because, like, when I was a kid, I thought it was crap.
I remember liking SpongeBob in my younger days, but like, one, you grow out of it, and 2, direction changes.
Yeah, like SpongeBob was new when the Saiyan Saga was new, so new
Fuck
to
off.
us. No. Okay, so what I mean is, SpongeBob was new when they were showing the Saiyan Saga for the first time on Cartoon Network in Britain, because Britain got Dragon Ball Z a lot later later than it would otherwise have happened.
I still don't think that's true, but I'm not going to argue because I don't know. I'm pretty sure even in Britain, the Saiyan saga was long gone. If Frieza saga was long gone when SpongeBob became a thing. But again, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't care that much, and I don't actually know. The final member of the main trio is Bubby, the whale. She is voiced by Roz Ryan, who's got quite the iconic voice herself. Rick, most recently, you probably know her as Cake from the Adventure Time spin-off.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sweet.
Yes. With 3 seasons and 46 episodes, there is plenty of Flapjack. Season 1 and 2 had 20 episodes each, although technically it's kind of 40 episodes because each episode is 2 mini-episodes, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
And Season 3 only had 6 episodes. Don't know why, couldn't find out.
Fair enough. Yeah, a two-core style show, which Cartoon Network seems to be in love with.
Yeah. Although they seem to have gone away with that entirely, and ever since Steven Universe and Adventure Time, etc., they just release mini-episodes rather than having them in 2-episode blocks, you know?
Yeah. Especially when it's ramping up towards a finale or when the show is cooling down, you know?
Sure. Funny enough, bringing up Adventure Time, Flapjack is credited with spawning quite a few cartoons we know and love, just based on having a top-notch team at the time. Just to name a few examples, Pendleton Ward, J.G. Quintel, and Alex Hirsch all worked on Flapjack before going off to make their own shows, including Adventure Time, Regular Show, and Gravity Falls.
Yeah, so I knew J.G. Quintel was part of this because I've also got him as part of my news this week.
Oh, fair enough then. I hope it's not bad news.
No, it's not bad news.
Okay, good. Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gravity Falls, those guys all cut their teeth on Flapjack, more or less. They're all credited as either writers or storyboard artists, which are quite important roles in a cartoon.
Yeah, he was the creative director. Was our JG.
Nominated for a few awards in its time, it won a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation. Specifically won Chris Rosiak, a background artist who still works in the industry to this day for his work on the episode Sea Legs, the first half of the episode 15, Series 1. He was a background artist on The House of Mouse. I love that cartoon. Why the fuck is it not on Disney+?
Yeah, it was... Oh, yeah, man. I remember that. You got the whole live lounge full of, villains or whatever. And
well, just everybody.
People getting served. Oh, yeah, everybody. But, I remember... I've only watched a couple of episodes, and one of them was, predominantly villains in the peanut gallery.
Well, the plot of every single episode of House of Mouse was Mickey has to keep running the show, and if he ever fucks up, then the House of Mouse defaults to Pete. They never really explain why.
Yeah. It's like it's a bit like how the Muppets do their Muppet Show. How Kermit's holding it together with Spit and a Shoestring. And that's kind of the B-plot of Muppets in general.
Except in reality, the only reason why he gets away with it is because Scooter's dad, owns the fucking theatre, and Scooter loves Kermit.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. That's the lowdown on the Misadventures of Flapjack. We will get to the actual first episode itself very soon. First and foremost, those of you who are new here, you probably don't know this, but what we like to do before we jump into the review itself and our thoughts and whatnot is we like to talk about our weeks and the goings on in the Wide Wide Universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how has your week been, buddy?
Well, I've done a couple of things. First of all, there was the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy pre-release, and that was fun. You've got your cards to open pretty soon.
I got an email as we sat down to record telling me that Royal Mail has delivered my package, so I'm very excited.
Yeah. Hope you get some good pulls. I got some reasonable pulls. I got the reprint MXL that's a reprint of something else from the past, just renamed.
I'm really surprised they don't do that more with their cards, with these Universe Beyonds. I know they did it with a fair share of their Assassin's Creed one, but Final Fantasy, there's just a lot of just straight up new cards.
Yeah, so there's 2 Zidans. One of them is a human mutant rogue, which, he kind of is, and the other one is a monkey pirate, which he very definitely is. But the monkey pirate is a reprint of an existing monkey pirate that's very definitely a monkey.
Fair.
And the Zidan, if you get the Zidan quids in, he's worth about 45 quid. Because the monkey pirate is also worth about 40 quid.
Yeah, I hope... I don't know if I've told you my plans, Rick, but I told a mutual friend of ours, not the one you're thinking of either, that my aim is to get the 8 core party members of the FF9 party, and I want to put them in a frame. That's all I want. And I know it's optimistic, because I know there are certain cards from those 8 Garnet that are rarer than others.
No, Garnet's an uncommon.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah, if you want an Excalibur 2, I've got an Excalibur 2. It's got Steiner on the front.
No, I just want the core party members. I'm not greedy.
Sure. Yeah, Steiner's an uncommon, Excalibur 2 is rare.
That's fine. It's going to be easier to get than Excalibur 2 in the actual fucking game, so...
Yeah, I unpackaged that. I ended up not using it because I didn't have any life gain in my deck. I ended up using black as my core because, Jekt and Xenos and all that. And I branched out into white because Squall is black-white, and blue because Lock is blue-black.
So was the pre-release effectively playing with draft decks? Is that what I'm understanding here?
Kind of. So instead of drafting where you open a pack and pass it, you just open 6 packs, build a deck out of those 6 packs, 40 cards, and then you do a bunch of best of 3s in a mini league.
Oh, okay.
Top few get more packs when you win.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to go to a pre-release, but there's one, it's hard for me to travel, and 2, there aren't really that many game shops around here, and the one game shop we've got has got a ridiculous markup on packets.
Yeah, I think pre-releases have to be a certain price, so you might be lucky with that specifically. The pre-release for Final Fantasy, because the Final Fantasy cards are more expensive, was nearly double the price of a regular pre-release.
So how much are we talking, unless you don't want to divulge it to the audience?
It was 35 quid, and then, because of flip cards, you needed opaque sleeves, which I didn't know, so I had to buy a full pack of opaque sleeves as well, so that's another 10 quid for a pack of Dragon Shields.
God, jeez. Yeah, because the fucking card shops don't stock the generic crap ones.
They do, but the generic crap ones are the see-through ones, so those are just as useless. So
my website sells opaque card sleeves for about $5.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's why to me a tenner is expensive. Also, Dragon Shield is the brand.
Yeah, because I wanted to use Jekt, who flips into Braska's Final Aeon, Xenos, who flips into Shinryu, and the Final Fantasy 15 Catch a Fish quest, which flips into a land. Yes, I needed to run some flippy cards. Yes, it was fun. I won a couple of games, but lost every round.
How did your I don't want to name them in case they don't want to be named on the podcast, but did your friend join in these festivities? The one who's annoyingly good at magic.
He did, and he did better than I did, and I can say on the show, because his wife won't be listening, he ended up spending 600 quid on all 4 of the collector's decks.
Well, you better make damn sure she doesn't listen to this episode now. Then I'm sure. I've actually met her at this point. This does not seem like the type of show she'd listen to, so I think we're in.
Oh no, we're probably fine. We're probably fine, and so is he.
And we also
his
didn't
investment
name
is
names.
safe.
We didn't name
his
names,
investment is safe.
And you know a lot of people who are good at magic. So
oh yes. But yes, that was fun. The other thing was I finally watched the ending of Dragon Age Veilguard while I was performing as a backseater / spoiler condom for walkthrough bits.
Oh, is this what you've been doing with that person in Discord?
Yes.
Okay, because I noticed they've been sharing their screen, but I was like, I better not join this in case they're doing something important.
Oh no! You would have been very welcome to join. It's my Discord. It's the whole point is it's a melting pot of me and my friends. So anybody who knows me is just welcome to do anything. And yeah, you would have been welcome.
The ending of that game's terrible, isn't it?
Okay. So they did a normal ending first, and now we're going back to get the more true ending.
Oh, guess what? Okay, you've seen the ending.
Yes.
That ending does not change.
Okay, so apparently the third ending does change if you specifically got a Lavellan Inquisitor that romanced Solus.
Okay, that's different, though. That's not a third ending. That's just adding a little bit of a different twist on the ending. The actual important thing is getting those 3 secret points and defeating that final boss and getting the secret cutscene that ruins the entire franchise.
Oh yes, yeah, that too. Yeah, that's why we basically went for a fuck it, let's see what happens, and then trying to get a perfect version afterwards. So yeah, that was fun. So now I've technically seen a selection of everything and can comment. And the last thing that I've done is I went to see the new and potentially final Mission Impossible.
I mean, go nuts on this one. I've never given a fuck about this franchise, even less so since Tom Cruise is an awful person.
Yeah, I wasn't super high on this finale, not because I thought it fell flat as a finale or because the action is bad or anything, but basically because it just was worse than the previous one that this is a direct sequel to, because it was a very definite, the last one was part 1 and this is part 2. The part 1 actually felt like a complete film, and this one just felt like they could have wrapped all this up in the last movie if they'd have cared.
But Rick, how would they get more money?
Oh yeah.
It's Tom Cruise. He's a super draw. He does all his own stunts, you know.
Yeah, and it seems like not only is he retiring from Mission Impossible, but he's setting it up so they can continue with the new team, which involves Pom, Clementif, and some other people that I don't care about.
I don't know who that is.
It's Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, I don't care. And I'm not shitting on the actor here. I generally don't give a fuck. I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie, and if Rick really cares, he could try his hardest to win like the Rumbles this year and make me watch one, but I won't be happy about it.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Cool, good, awesome. I guess I just don't like spy movies, because I've never watched James Bond either.
Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate that. You knew also that Nick Offerman showing up meant he was going to be a good guy, because they show him to be looking really sus and all that, but that's just his face.
I mean, fair. I didn't know Nick Offerman was in this movie, so...
Yeah, he is. He's just a standard general
that
advises the president. But yes, that's it for my week. However, things happen in the world. The main thing that happened was an Xbox event.
Oh yeah, they released information on a bunch of games. The only thing that I caught sight of is that Owlcat is releasing a third-person RPG. What?
Yeah, I didn't see that one actually, so you can take that one away.
I don't know anything about it. I just saw the announcement and went, oh, that's neat, and then fucking scrolled away because I'm more interested in their actual RPG stuff. So hey, I don't know what else has been announced. I know. Okay, I tell a lie. I do know that a bunch of stuff that was in the Xbox showcase had PlayStation logos on. I also know that there is one game that had the Game Freak logo on, and the internet went fucking wild because they went, Game Freak can make games like this.
Yeah, so it's kind of Souls-like. It's called Beasts of Reincarnation. And I'll keep my finger on the pulse on it. It might not be good, but we'll see. Other things that got announced: the Outer Worlds 2 got a full-on proper video on it.
Now tell the internet what you did in the group chat.
I said the Outer Wilds in the chat because it was an amount of time between me reading it and typing it.
Okay, so for what it's worth, Rick, you're not the only one who has made that mistake. In fact, Outer Worlds 1 and Outer Wilds 1 both came out at the same time, which means there was a bunch of confusion whenever people were talking about one or the other, because they are wildly different games.
Yes, Outer W star DS. So Outer Worlds is the Obsidian one with the Moonface Man.
Yeah, I enjoyed Outer Worlds 1. I only played the base game. I thought it was incredibly fun. I didn't play any of the DLC. Apparently the DLC was kind of but whatever. I won't pay 80 quid for an Outer Worlds 2, I'll put it that way.
No. High on Life 2 is coming out with no Justin Roiland.
Fucking what? I didn't know about this. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think you remember my main complaint about High on Life 1 was too many references to Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So they might continue Rick and Morty references, but it's no Justin Roiland. So they might have the sound-alikes that they use in Rick and Morty, or they might do something like they do in Solar Opposites, where they just recast people using that voice as completely different voices, and people just have to accept it. Or they might just do something completely new in the same universe.
They can just use new guns, because the story of the guns that we had is wrapped up and done. They can enjoy retirement. If we're following the same character, the only person voiced by Justin Roiland that matters is the main gun, and that's just the Morty voice. It's pretty easy for them to get a sound-alike for that.
Yeah, and the last game that I saw that was revealed and actually matters is the Persona 4 Revival, which I basically talked about like last week or the week before.
This is the worst-kept secret that Atlas has had for a while.
Yeah, like it's been finally officially announced, but we also know that a lot of the voice actors are not returning.
It's one of those where depends on the price tag, depends on if I'll go in on it straight away, because if it's Persona 4 but with Persona 5 quality of life changes, I'm very much interested in playing that game again, but slightly better. If
it's 80 quid.
Yeah, if it's 80 quid, it can fucking suck my dick, because I own that game on the PS2, which was a bastard to get because it was well after the fact, and I own that game on Steam, just the golden version, and that's a complete experience, and it hasn't aged poorly. This is something that you and I have spoken about in private. I don't think we've done it on a podcast, but like just having an art style and not trying to be hyper realistic means your game doesn't age like shit.
Yeah, like there are certain things that look not so great. Like the character models don't look fantastic, but you're not meant to be looking at those. You're meant to use them to navigate the world, and you look at the nice pictures when they come up in cutscenes. I mean, like the visual novel talkings. We all know what Persona is. So yeah, looking at Narukami running around, yes, it very much looks like the very same direction that they've done with 5 and 3 remake.
I hope they let us romance the nurse this time. They won't.
No, they're cowards. They're probably too much of cowards to let us romance Kanji. Oh well.
Oh, dude. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, we're never... That fucking has resurfaced, that they cut the gay Yosuke stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like, it blows my mind that there was the gay Yosuke romance, but not a gay Kanji romance.
But that wasn't the point of Kanji's story.
Yeah, it's that he likes girly things.
I like this fucking discourse is going to come up again. I know it is, and I'm so sick of it. We have the problem with Naoto's plotline and Kanji's in that people are like, oh, Kanji's clearly gay and Naoto's clearly trans, and it's like, I think you're missing the point of their stories if you think that. You're allowed to have that interpretation. That's certainly a valid read of it. I don't personally think that's what they're going for. It's targeting... bear in mind, this is a Japanese as fuck game. They are targeting Japanese sensibilities when it comes to gender roles. They're not saying that Naoto is trans or Kanji is gay. Now, those characters can be that, and I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't think that's necessarily what they're trying to say, but if that's your read on it, that's your read on it. Can we fucking be civil, please?
Yeah. They're both nuanced characters that are both fun to have around and both like interesting to dive into and experience for yourself. If any of the listeners have not experienced this, then sorry for the mild spoilers. But the game is older than I Am Daisy, and
this game's from like what 2008?
Probably earlier than that even. But yeah, it's PS2,
isn't it? So yeah, 2008 might even be late. Like PSP for Golden, or was it Vita?
It was the Vita. That was my game on the Vita. Like when I bought my PS Vita, that was because I wanted to play Persona 4 Golden, because it was about the same price to get a vintage copy of Persona 4 on the PS2, which was out of print and difficult to get, as it was to buy a PS Vita.
I mean, I believe it, because I did go that route. I did buy the PS2 copy.
Yeah, and the PS Vita's the better one because it's golden. It's what gave you the golden port on the PC. It's just that, but earlier on an OLED screen that looks really nice.
But much like the Dreamcast, the British have a fondness for the Vita, and no one can explain why.
Yeah, we don't know why. The last thing though is JG Quintel. As you announced before, he's talking about doing the regular show, The Lost Tapes, but he's now also announced that he's working on a brand new series called Super Mutant Magic Academy.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so there is a graphic novel by Gillian Tamaki, somewhere between Harry Potter and X-Men, and he's adapting the graphic novel into a series, potentially for Cartoon Network.
Let's not compare things to Harry Potter, shall we?
Okay, we know what Magic Academies are. It's the article that told me about this was like, oh yeah, Harry Potter, you know what Harry Potter is, blah.
What voice is that, Rick?
It's a very bad Mr. Bird. Yeah. So yes, that's it for me, my week, and what I've seen and what I've done. What have you seen? Where have you been? And how was life?
I had to look after a bunch of dogs over the weekend, last weekend that is, so I kind of couldn't do much video game wise for about 3 days. So I watched the entirety of season 1 of Resident Alien.
Was it good?
Yeah, that show's fun.
Yeah, the fact that you watched the entirety of season 1 shows that it still had legs after episode 2.
I take that with a grain of salt. I was kind of forced to do that or do nothing.
True, fair enough.
But yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was quite funny. Are you going to watch this, Rick?
I hope so. Yes.
Okay, I won't spoil it then. But season 2 starts with so this is what the plot line is for season 2. Okay, fair enough then. I'll leave it at that. It's a good show. I recommend it. Of course, it's a good show. It's on its 4th season.
Yeah.
I also finished Clair Obscure Expedition 33, and now that I've seen the ending and where that game goes, I can now see where the FF10 comparisons are coming in.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So, if you recall last week, I was saying, I don't know why people are comparing this to FF10, because apart from the turn order system in combat, it doesn't really feel much like FF10. And then we get about halfway through Act 2, and I'm like, I can now see why people are comparing this to FF10. It's a pretty good way of comparing. It's a pretty good comparison, truth be told. It doesn't follow the exact same formula formula, but you can see hints of it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Does it do the FF10 thing of the first half of the game is retold, and then eventually you get to the camp? Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
No, I can't say anything without spoiling it, and I don't want to spoil this game. It's very good. You should experience it for yourself. Because I hit credits, I didn't know Charlie Cox was in this game, Daredevil, if you're wondering. I didn't know fucking Andy Serkis was in this game, despite a mutual friend telling me it was Andy Serkis, because it does not sound like him. He did a great job. And Ben Starr is once again a lead character, and I didn't know it was Ben Starr because it doesn't sound like Clive.
Yeah, fair enough. The one that you do know is who it is Shadowheart, because Jenny English always sounds like Jenny English.
Well, yeah, but I also told you that last week. I was like, why is your voice familiar? And it really fucking annoyed me that I had to look it up because I was just playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. It's a very fun game. It's great. I'm effectively in the post-game now. I will say there is a decision to make at the end of that game, and I'll be eager to hear what decision people make at the ending, because it has quite a big impact when you think about it. Again, I'm trying to be as vague as possible, but yeah, there's a decision to make at the end of the game. I know what decision I made, and I'll tell you this, I made the correct decision, because thankfully the game puts a save point right before you make that decision. So as soon as I finished seeing the ending with my decision on things, I then immediately reloaded and said, let's see what the other path is, because, oh yeah, I made the right choice. Oh. Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, Rick, you ready for some news?
Let's go.
Alright, let's open with a bit of a downer one. Nigel Farage visited Wales this week with the campaign promise that he will reopen the mines and the steel mill, and everyone who knows anything about anything was just like, why?
Yeah. The time for the mines to be open was when they were still open, and not to have closed them, not to reopen them now.
Coal is dying, as it should.
Yes.
But more importantly, there seems to be this real disconnect between, let's just say it as it is, rich bastards and the working man. People didn't work in mines because they wanted to work in mines. They worked in mines because it was the only jobs available.
Yeah. And that's why the North died, because, there wasn't anything else to do.
I mean, bear in mind, Rick, Welsh.
Yep.
They're known for one industry and one industry only, and that was mining.
Yep.
So, I totally get it. It's really fucking stupid. You have horror stories of parents telling their children, don't work in the mines. It's not worth it.
Do the absolute best you can to get yourself in a position where you do not have to.
Have I told the story about my uncle?
You may have done, but maybe not on podcast.
This is a story I've been told by my mother, where there was an incident where he was covering someone else's shift at the mine, and sod's law, that's the shift where he got buried under a bunch of fucking dirt, and the thing that happens when something like that happens in a coal mine is traditionally everyone there stops what the fuck they're doing and tries to get the person out. His dad ended up being the person who actually dragged him out of the dirt because they just happened to be working at the same time. And he couldn't work again.
Yeah.
Coal mines in general are horrible places, but coal mines are the ones that have affected Britain the most. It's fucked up.
Yeah, and also because he wasn't able to, because he wasn't actually technically working, other people wouldn't have known from the outside that he would have been stuck.
No, he was working.
Okay, so he was, but you know what I mean, because he was covering someone else's shift.
Okay, people knew he was working where he was working.
Okay.
Otherwise, if he wouldn't have been rescued, it would have been impossible to know someone was buried. You know what I mean? But anyway, Nigel Farage, fuck off. And it's a really scary time in the UK, politically speaking, because at the moment the major opposition to Labour isn't Conservative, it's Reform UK. And if that doesn't make you feel dread, I don't know what does.
Yeah, it's another hold my head moment. Yes.
It's not good. Alright, let's move on to other news.
Let's go.
Just before their third season drops, which will be in autumn, by the way, we've got confirmation that Smiling Friends has been renewed up to season 5.
Sweet.
So yeah, we've got at least 3 more seasons of that to look forward to.
Yeah. Last time you were up here, we binged all of season 2.
That was about a year ago now, and certainly wasn't the last time.
Actually, yeah, because that was when we came. Well, that's when we did Geek Week, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was last June.
Yeah, Geek Week. Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun to know. In other animation news, Prime Video, aka Amazon, has greenlit a Steven Universe spin-off. It's called Lars of the Stars. Because
Yes.
it's a spin-off, I assume this is set during Steven Universe Future. Or potentially could be set during Steven Universe Season 5 while Steven's doing the main things.
Or an interquel, because we know we got the Steven Universe Future time skip. It could be any time in between the two.
Okay, but what I want to see is Lars actually stealing the shit from Emerald.
Oh yeah, I want that to be the opening,
We'll see.
episode 1.
Might be a flashback episode or something, but yeah, I'm curious whether, because this is Amazon greenlighting this, I'm curious as to whether it will be continue the formula of 10-minute episodes or if they'll stretch it to 20.
With luck, it'll be 20s because they can make longer stories in that. But by the same token, 10s are fine because if you can condense things into a 10, cool.
I mean, but it used to be a common complaint with Steven Universe, from me at least, in that episodes just didn't get the story done. It felt very rushed for quite a fair few of them. Go back and look at our non-stop review for Steven Universe. It was a complaint more often than not, I promise you.
Yeah, that we either something was too rushed because they had to put it in 10 minutes, or nothing happened because they had to, pad out a 10-minute moment.
I don't think the latter happened very often. That might have been a you thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, more Steven Universe is great. Rebecca Sugar's kind of been teasing this on the interwebs for a while.
Yeah.
Not specifically that we'd be following following Lars, but that they really wanted to do more Steven Universe.
Yeah. Well, good luck to them, and I really hope that it just goes well.
Yeah, absolutely. Rick, last but not least, this is not a wrestling podcast.
What has happened?
Do you remember last week when I told you about one Mr. R-Truth?
You did, yeah.
I did. He immediately got rehired.
Well,
he's been renamed as Ron Killings, which is his real name. We don't know how long his new contract is for, but basically everyone behind the scenes was upset and angered that he got fired out of the blue, more or less. To be fair, he didn't technically get fired. It was phrased as they won't be renewing his contract. And fans were also the exact same way. Ron Killings has been very public on his Twitter, it might be Blue Sky, but I think it's Twitter, that he's very thankful for the fans, because without the fans, he would not be where he is right now, aka still working for the WWE. Meanwhile, while he's doing this, Triple H and all of the fucking stooges at the WWE are going, this was always the plan, and everyone's going, no, it fucking wasn't.
Yeah. Weird, but oh well.
It's so weird. I don't know why well, I do know why. They can never say, oh, we were wrong, we shouldn't have fired this guy. But also, if this was always the plan, it's extra shitty because there is a bunch of other people that got let go at the same time as R-Truth. They're not coming back. What? How dare you do this as a storyline if this was always just going to be a storyline? Again, I want to stress it wasn't. It's quite clearly they did a U-turn because of the backlash, but it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's rather like you say, it's disrespectful to other people that were let go. To try and spin it a storyline.
Yeah, it's I'm not a fan, but whatever. Good for R-Truth. He's going to get a bit of extra money from this run. The rumor and behind the scenes buzz is the reason why he's Ron Killings for this final stretch of his run is he's basically preparing to do an indie run under his real name because he won't be able to go by R-Truth. So to get his name more recognition before he goes, which I respect. It's a rather smart business decision.
Yeah, good stuff.
But yes, for the benefit of those watching along, Rick, and for me, do you want to tell them what we're doing and count us in?
We are watching The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, Season 1, Episode 1, Several Leagues Under the Sea, and Episode 2, I See You.
These are both Episode 1. That's just for the first half and the second half.
Yeah, second half is I See You. 3, 2, 1, and go.
This is the plot, by the way, the opening sequence.
Yeah, that's cake.
The show itself is not animated this way, and I can't blame them for not animating this way, because this must have taken a fair fucking minute to do.
Yeah, I'm assuming so, yeah.
I do miss cartoons having these very fun opening credit, these artistic splash screens at the beginning of each episode.
Yeah. Like, even this looks like papercraft.
Yeah, a little bit. I believe the creative Clarence also worked on this, and when you look at some of the character designs, you can tell why people might think that.
Yeah. A legless mermaid. Ooh.
Well, negless, of course, means drunk.
Yeah.
Second. Oh, Flapjack had
Who's
the exact
number
same
one?
idea.
Ah, a big old gilded clam.
That sounds like a fucking disgusting sex thing.
It does a bit. It's like a rusty trombone, isn't it?
No. No. I think you've already probably sussed by now, but Bubby's big gimmick is she's basically the mama of the group.
Oh, yeah.
And no one listens to her, like everybody's mother.
I think I know that voice.
Possibly. Oh, there is a very well... I've forgotten his name. I apologise. There's a very well-known VA that's come up plenty of times before in our podcast adventures who is on this show, and it's probably him.
Okay.
Because that's basically Brain, but toned down a little bit, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah. Yeah, that's, I forget his name. Now that I'm listening, I can't remember his name, but yeah.
I love this design sort of thing for underwater places.
Yeah, the underwater tunnels. Plus being able to just, like, walk around in diving suits. But they can only do each other. They can't do it themselves.
I also don't think that would work.
No, it wouldn't.
That is a very cool looking vehicle.
It is, yeah. The Iron Whale. It looks like something from frickin' Stingray.
Stingray?
Yeah, the underwater Thunderbirds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never watched that shit.
Yeah, they...
Sorry, I need to cut you very short, very momentarily. Like, surely that cannot be safe at all, shoveling that amount of coal in a vehicle that doesn't have access to air.
Yeah, it doesn't have access to air. The only thing it does do is it can fart out of its blowhole.
That was not enough.
No, it's not. It can get rid of carbon dioxide, but it can't get new oxygen.
That was a very fun transition.
Yeah.
Oh, the Iron Whale doesn't look as cool in the sun when it's not bronze.
No, it's not. Oh, no. Button pushed.
What?
Yeah,
So
you knew that he was a villain.
He's just a dick then.
Yeah, you knew he was a villain the moment you saw him with his eyes frowning and his the bags under his eyes.
His eyes frowning, you say?
Yeah, before he did I Behold Whoosh.
It's a very good villain voice, isn't it?
It is.
I love that. Get down, Flapjack. Fuck Knuckles. What does that mean?
Automatic fingers on a thing that doesn't have fingers.
Oh,
okay.
To poke the eye. I thought they were trying to go for a can show. Oh, so he is nice enough to save his children. Oh, okay, just because he needs them to shovel coal, not because he doesn't want them to die.
Yeah, he's not an altruist.
Fuck him.
Finger swashbuckling.
Oh, that was a can show. Accidental can shows are the worst because they hurt the most.
Yep, because you're not expecting it. Even the person doing it is not expecting it.
Wow. My weapon is now more deadly. I must retreat. I like to think that all of them are just pretending to give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, they're really just pretending because, what's her name? Mama has got got a net on.
Wow, he's actually honouring it. Fuck me. Like, he clearly doesn't want to honour it, but the fact that he's still doing it is genuinely surprising.
Yeah, he's at least he's respecting union rules.
The union he made up because they're literally children under his wing. That wasn't even like 2 minutes. Wait, is that not part of the race?
Maybe not.
Oh, I just realised they're wearing bubby hats.
Yeah.
That's cute. That's basically a river from fucking Godzilla Land. Is he just going to shoot them?
I would assume so.
Oh, yeah. But he clearly had cannonballs as well, so why is he doing that? Flapjack, you fool of a toque.
Okay, so the Iron Whale's pilot is Johnny Bravo.
There you go. And therefore about 95% of the characters in Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, and about 40% of characters on the Cartoon Network.
Yeah. He's being slowed down by all the fat children inside her. Oh, does that not make you fucking feel itchy, the fucking way he scratches his scraggly ass shit beard?
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, man.
It's a photo finish! I bet it's going to be Bubby by like a tongue.
But if it's by a tongue, the cannon is longer.
But he's not going to he's not going to be able to activate it because he was too busy shoveling coal.
True.
I love that. It's an image box. Oh, and he's cheating. What a fucker.
Yeah. It just says, I just gonna read I quit or something. Like actually though. Yeah, there we are.
He's basically the villain from Pinocchio.
Yeah, he's got photography, he's got an iron... He's got an iron whale! He could, like, do tours of the universe in his iron whale. Like,
well, he didn't have a photography. That's the joke, because it was just another child inside the box.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to do it next episode. Robo Knuckles.
Robo-Knuckles.
How is that not a villain in Sonic yet?
Metal Knuckles. They're trying to do Metal Knuckles like multiple times and it never sticks.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, I've seen at least 2 of them.
Does it not freak you out a little bit that you're seeing the rib cage?
Yeah, it always does.
So candy isn't alcohol in this universe, but it's probably alcohol.
Okay. So it's chicken wings.
Very clever. I do love how innocently Flapjack is drawn in this. He looks like such a child you just want to pinch the cheeks of.
A little bit, but by the same token, like, how did he end up in this situation?
Oh, because this world's fucked up, Rick.
Yeah.
Well, we know how he ended up in this situation. Knuckles convinced him that they need to hunt for Candy Island.
Just adventure in general.
Yeah.
Have a fun time without me.
Their adventure is literally just to get Knuckles' clothes washed. Flapjack doesn't understand emotions because he's probably autistic.
Or 6.
Which, as we know, wasn't a thing in 2008.
Nope. It was a thing, you just had to live in an affluent neighborhood.
I mean, I was just making a joke about, those people.
And by affluent neighborhood, I mean an affluent catchment area that had funding for...
You're continuing a joke that doesn't need continuing. You're digging a hole for no reason. Technically, she's not sitting, she's floating.
She is a bit.
The Clam Shack, that's a whorehouse.
It is. They went to the laundry and then chucked it in the sea anyway.
Gross. Well, that was a fun transition for no reason.
Yeah, so that's what they're actually doing today.
That is kind of rule number 1 of espionage, right?
Yeah, don't tell the person that you're spying on them, unless you're the Iron Bull, in which case that's not his point.
"12 hours later."
It's going to turn out she's able to fall asleep with her eyes open.
I can't imagine that tongue is very comfortable, but at the same time they make it look alarmingly comfortable.
Yeah, plus also she's got to be tasting them the whole time as well.
How can Bubby not hear them? I love how that effect is so charming and neat that they use it all the time.
Yeah. "7 days. Oh.
I wonder what member of the crew was bullied into doing that for the shot.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Maybe you're right, Rick. Maybe she is sleeping with her eyes open. What the fuck? This can't be... What?
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Okay. So that's what she was doing. She was doing anything.
You did what, child?
Beeping is wrong. I put out a decoy so I could go and sleep somewhere else. The decoy is also doing nothing, which is also what I would be doing if I was sleeping with eyes open glasses on.
Can I go now? So all I'm thinking of is like the potassium is also cursed. That's bad. Bobby's peeping herself. What a bitch. There's Johnny Bravo again.
It actually is, though, yeah. She's watching her soaps.
I mean, pretty much. It's like old Gnawbone all over again.
Yeah, actually.
God, I love that bit of lore that's pointless.
Yeah, that people put on a show for her.
And specifically, the Harpers have to convince an entire court to just like be dramatic for like 2 weeks because Gnawbone's bored. 2 minutes later. Flapjack's so dumb. I'd go fucking nuts if I saw some random aquatic life wearing pirate costumes.
Hmm.
Look at me, I'm a stupid fucking human. I think Knuckles might not technically be human, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, he might be some kind of...
homunculus. It's not terrifying and will definitely not be in my nightmares later.
I mean, it's Candy Wife.
How does he fuck that thing?
I don't know, but he's probably going to get a... he's probably going to get a yeast infection from it.
Candy is definitely meant to be beer. Look at the glasses.
Yeah.
So all Knuckles hears when Flapjack talks is fucking blubbering.
This is the last time I'll do it. Oh no.
Oh god, I don't like that fucking visual.
Yeah. Prehensile eyes.
Imagine getting a splinter.
Mmm.
Oh, it certainly can. Have you not seen the glory ones?
Oh, he's got a hip flask of maple syrups. It's definitely, yeah.
It's not even a hip flask. That was just straight up a bottle.
Yeah.
Oh god. She's got like craters on her back.
She does.
$0.25 for a shave. That's pretty good.
These days, yes.
I imagine even in fucking 2008 that was cheap.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What am I saying I imagine? I was around in 2008. It was! I'm so lonely. I need a man whale to give me a dickin'.
Oh, man.
Listen, sometimes when a joke comes, it comes, and sometimes it comes in a whale's buttocks.
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah, it's very gross visuals. And that's the guy who was just joking about whale sex, so you know.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the only animal to have a bone in the penis, but...
I believe there's a certain type of badger that also has one in its dick, but I don't know if that's true or if I'm making it up.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I also wouldn't know, and I'm not looking it up because I don't care that much.
Meat, apparently. Pickle juice.
Ugh. Fuck off, Triclops. Oh, no! No! Oh, fuck off!
Glug! Glug!
That's a really fun gag, though. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. It tickled me a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the baculum is a lot more common than I thought.
I assume that's the technical name for a bone penis.
Yeah, the willy bone.
Yeah, so usually the bone doesn't fill the entire shaft. Usually just a bit of it.
It protects certain things from compaction.
Yeah. This is... Why are you looking it up? I know we brought it up, but, like, I refuse. You could have refused.
I could have refused, but then Wikipedia's got a picture of a raccoon's one.
Like, of the bone or of the erect phallus?
The bone.
Okay. And I imagine it's, like, not even, like, half your thumb, right?
It doesn't show scale, but it just looks like a little question mark.
Rick, what do you think of the episode?
It was fun enough. This isn't my favourite show from this era, but then again, I wasn't around during this era watching regular shows. I was watching anime back here. I was in my Western stuff is shit phase.
We have a friend who is still in that phase.
Oh yes. If that phase lasts longer than it takes to watch an episode of something fun, then you got a problem.
Even when I was watching anime wasn't my favourite form of cartoon, is the thing. Like, it comes up fairly often. You'll bring up, like, anime terms, and I have to stop you for a minute and go, Rick, I'm not as big of a fucking weeb as you. You're going to have to explain more than not at all.
Yes, so a tsundere is...
Okay, I know what a tsundere is, just via osmosis, but yeah, it's... Like, what was the most recent one? Like, you said, it's kind of gat moe, and I went, Rick, I know that's a Japanese term, but that's about the limit of my information, and you explained it, and I went, okay, why do you need a word for that?
Yup. But yeah, it was fine. Again, not my favorite show. The characters are generally fun. I'm assuming he's not Peppermint Butler. It's Mr. Peppermint or whatever, and Peppermint Wife. I'm assuming they become like major characters, but
no, they're just reoccurring.
Okay. Just reoccurring. Okay.
Yeah. The major characters are the three.
Okay, but yeah, how about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it was fine. These two episodes are actually alarmingly good representations of the show. If you watch, I keep saying 2 episodes. This is one single episode. It's just split into 2 different ones. Again, I'm kind of appreciative of Cartoon Network for destroying that trend of having these two mini episodes or 1 episode thing and just having each episode be its own thing. Makes it a lot easier for viewing in the future.
Yeah.
But yes, this first episode as a whole was a pretty good representation of Flapjack as a whole. You can see the roots of regular show and Adventure Time in this, right?
Yeah, to a degree. Absolutely. It's like you say, you can see certain things that like diverged. The physical bits of the art style don't seem to have cropped up so much in other things, but...
not so much the art style, but the general tone of the shows.
Yeah.
The art style is quite unique, and I think that chap getting his individual award for backgrounds is like, you can really see why it stood out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing the good old day-night flip.
Just it's a very beautifully... I'm using the term beautiful, and it doesn't feel quite right, because the art style is so unique to itself. I can understand why people would disagree with my word choice, but it's the one I'm going for. I think it's a very beautiful show. The animation is lovely, and like, hard to believe this show is almost 20 years old.
Yeah, but it's by the same token, it's hard to believe that it's only almost 20 years old and not nearly 26 or 28 years old.
Again, I thought this was early 2000s, not fucking early 2010.
Okay.
Apparently, one of the main reasons why this didn't get a fourth season is literally because the team were like, we kind of want to work on our own stuff, and the creator was just like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you go and make things, go.
And like, he's not hurting from it. He's worked on, had his hand in other projects as well. Well connected, these people nowadays, and like, you can almost entirely point to Flapjack, as I was saying in the opening. I will say, I do tend to consider this show Adventure Time-esque, which probably speaks to the success of Adventure Time, despite the fact this predates it.
Yeah, and Adventure Time getting a lot more runtime than this did.
Adventure Time needs to die, and I mean that with all the love possible. That's got like 10 seasons, not counting the spin-offs and the movies.
Yeah, I like when it comes back, but it's best when that's done very sparingly.
Yeah. Like, fine, people like it. They're going to keep renewing things that people like. It is what it is. I would not say no to Flapjack getting a revival. There was a lot of crossover Cartoon Network games in like the early to mid 2010s. Flapjack was always a staple in those.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think there's much else I can say. I'm really high on this show. I'm glad we got to do it for the podcast. Let's do our usual wind down, shall we? Rick, do you have a standout favourite moment?
So for me, it's going to be Jeff Bennett's villain just going, "Behold, swish," and just revealing his iron whale. Like, it was just such a cute little, just a cute little moment. Like, just and showing that he was very obviously villainous, but also something that you could very easily just do a voice of.
And also, that scene was the coolest version of that machine, because the lighting made it look like it was made out of brass, and it just looks a lot cooler. If it had kept that colour in the daylight, it wouldn't have looked as good. So I understand why they turned it to more of a steel sort of shade.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, that was my favourite moment. Something really innocuous. How about you? Do you have a favourite moment?
Yeah, it just encompasses Flapjack's innocence, and like, it's a bit of those... he doesn't have a bad bone in his body, because when he beat the villain of the first episode, he was just like, maybe you should just try focusing on something that doesn't involve child labour. And it was being really encouraging, and he didn't learn his lesson that episode, but it was a nice little moment. Made funnier by the fact that you can try... I got my photography, and it's like, no, he doesn't. No, he has nothing. He's a bastard, and he will die a bastard.
Yeah, absolutely. A bastard-coded bastard with bastard fillings.
Yeah, not even a magnificent one, just a prick. But yes, we can't only talk about the good, let's also talk about the bad. Rick, do you have a weakest link for me?
Like we call it ice cream, because I scream when they do things with eyes.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off this and just do my weakest link at the same time. It's fun doing these gross out horror things in an almost tasteful kind of way. It's eyes, man. It freaks me the fuck out.
Yep. I know that my eye is sensitive, and therefore your eye should also be sensitive, and therefore you're putting your character through a lot of unnecessary pain. This is not nice. Don't do it.
But again, they did it in cartoon physics, where we saw Knuckles' eye just be a very elongated eyeball. In real life, and the real graphic ones that make you actually want to squirm, they have it be with the actual fucking optic nerves hanging out. So at least they didn't go full in gross out with it, but it's still not a very pleasant visual at all. It did make me sort of go, ugh.
I mean, when Flapjack was holding his eye as to make it into a longer eye, it showed some veins on it. Oh, sorry, some blood vessels on it still.
But it was still a tube. It wasn't. You didn't see the optics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't see the backside of it. They didn't pull it out. They didn't have it dangling.
Yeah, and you didn't see an empty socket where it was only connected by the lines, basically.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate Flapjack in the best way possible by ending on a highlight. Rick, who is your standout MVP today?
It's going to be Bobby, and I finally know the name.
Bubby the whale.
Yeah, Bubby the whale. So she was the MVP in both of these, I believe. Because in the first, it was because she was literally the one doing the racing and winning by a tongue, and in the second, it was because she was the one that was doing all the spying and was the vehicle for the episode itself.
Yeah, she could be a wacky, like Flapjack on Bubby could be a wacky races participant, couldn't it?
Yeah. As long as they had, some way to do things on dry land. Put her in a giant fishbowl on wheels.
There's been dumber.
There has been dumber. Exactly. That's exactly the kind of stupid thing that would work as a wacky racist thing. If the whale or little fish swims, it makes the wheels go faster. Let's go.
I know you said wacky racer. It sounded like you said wacky racist, and I got the funniest mental image in my mind.
Klansman Dick Dastardly.
Oh, jeez.
That woman is going out with a black man. Drat and double drat. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy.
I don't know why you said it, Rick. I was like, that. It conjures a funny mental image, and then you're like, now I'm going to say something evil.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dickhead.
Anyway. How about you? Who's going to be your MVP for today?
It's a real tough one between Knuckles and Flapjack, but I'm going to go with Flapjack because his name is on the goddamn cartoon. He is the epitome of innocent, optimistic protagonist. It's nice to have a protagonist that just loves life and the world in general. And it's that optimism and joy that gets him in trouble. The first episode started with him bragging that his friend Bubby was the fastest thing in the ocean. He didn't mean anything nefarious by it, but he kept escalating because he believed in Bubby. The second episode was he thought that Bubby couldn't possibly be doing nothing all day when they weren't with her, and he was worried about his friend, almost a maternal figure in some episodes. And then it turns out awful things were happening behind the scenes. But oh well. Flapjack is always well-meaning, and it's very nice to see. Because like take Adventure Time for example, and even regular show, not spin-offs, but inspired by their work on this. Mordecai's a dick. Rigby's a bigger dick. Finn is not always altruistic. Whereas Flapjack is just always radiating positivity.
Yeah. You don't really get that quite as much in the spin-offs. Again, we call them the spin-offs. They're not the spiritual the spiritual successors in that they flip it on its head. They make their protagonists into something with a less altruistic and a less altruistic flaw.
Yeah, like Mordecai and Rigby are just bastards.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does it for today, guys. That was the very first episode of the Misadventures of Flapjack. It's really disappointing because apparently, doing my research, only season 1 got a DVD release.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, which means that sucks. I don't think it's lost media. I think because first of all, it's online. I think it might even straight up be on Cartoon Network's YouTube channel these days.
Yeah, totally.
But it is a shame. It is a shame. But that's neither here nor there. Let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of the Misadventures of Flapjack. To some people, kind of a bit of a forgotten cartoon. It got overshadowed quite a bit by Adventure Time and what was effectively like the start of a new generation of cartoons. This was really much the closing of 2000s,
Yeah. It was like the transitionary cartoon of the era. Like, you went from things like Two Stupid Dogs and Johnny Bravo and Dexter, and then this in the middle.
That came way before this.
Yeah, but not by that much in the grand scheme of things. Like, that was like 90s.
Yeah, and this was the late 2000s.
Yeah.
That's a big gap, Rick.
But I'm thinking, what would have been early 2000s that would have been different, though? Like, still doing Dexter, still doing Powerpuff Girls.
I still don't... It doesn't sit right with me what you're saying, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Because I know Powerpuff Girls came out about the same time as Pokemon, so that was like...
That was 96.
Yeah, but that was only the game. Like, we didn't get the show until like 98, 99.
Okay. This conversation could take forever, especially with us both remembering... One, me remembering dates wrong because I'm thinking of the game, and two, not having figures. This might be a good discussion for a retrospective, Rick, so let's put a pin in it for now and perhaps loop back around to it in the future. For now, as I was saying, let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of the episode. Let us know what cartoons that may be forgotten in the grand scheme of things or overshadowed that you'd like to see us review in the future in the comment section down below on the YouTubes and the Spotify. Alternatively, you can send us an email at nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Absolutely. Comment anything witty, informative, or just plain fun, and we'll read it out on a future episode. But for now, it's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from him.